Penguin Random House Audio presents The Chicken Sisters by KJ Dell'Antonia. Read for you by Exie Sands and Cassandra Campbell.
To my grandparents, who took me to Chicken Annie's, to my parents, who once boldly took me to Chicken Mary's, and to Rob, Sam, Lily, Rory, and Wyatt, all of whom understand the importance of good fried chicken and enjoying it together. The hit TFC series Food Wars is back, and this time it's personal. We're looking for rival restaurants with a deeper connection, married chefs, best friends with dueling taco trucks. If you're a restaurant owner or worker who shares a bond with the crew at a competing restaurant in your town, we want to hear from you. It's a fantastic opportunity to showcase your food on TV, expose your brand to a national audience, and finally resolve, once and for all, who's the best at serving up your local specialty. Food Wars judges will vote on who provides the best dining experience, the best menu, and of course, the most delicious, most authentic version of whatever it is you do. And it will all be shared live via social media and then on produced episodes of our show. The winner will be awarded $100,000 to invest in their business. Past victors have franchised and been offered lucrative product branding opportunities. To be considered for the show, both restaurants must be willing and enthusiastic about participating and must be available for up to 5, possibly non-consecutive days of filming. Applicants should email no more than 300 words describing the rivalry and relationship between your competing restaurants, along with some images that capture the scene. We need to locate our next competitors right away, so drop us a line ASAP. SabrinaSky@thefoodchannel.com. Draft. To SabrinaSky@thefoodchannel.com from Amanda.Pogociello@gmail.com. Subject: The Chicken Sisters. Application for Food Wars. In 1883, my great-great-great-grandmother, Margaret Mimi, and her sister, Frances, Frannie, answered an ad placed by Fred Harvey for young women 18 to 30 years of age, of good character, attractive, and intelligent, to come west for a grand adventure, working in his Harvey restaurants along the railroad line. They lived in a dorm and wore a uniform. Harvey took good care of his girls, or at least he kept them on a short leash, and my Grandma Mimi resented it. She met a man who worked on the railroad, packed up Frannie, and followed him to Merinac, Kansas. They had a house right by the depot, so Mimi opened her own railroad restaurant selling fried chicken, potatoes, and biscuits with Frannie. Before long, they were making more money with chicken than Harvey was, and he didn't like it, but then he was crushed between 2 train cars and it didn't matter anymore. Meanwhile, Frannie and Mimi had a big fight. Then Frannie got married and started her own place out by the mines. Thus, Chicken Mimis and Chicken Frannies were born, and so was their rivalry. Mimi's daughter was also Mimi, and she ran Mimi's, followed by my great-grandmother, my grandmother, and now my mother. Frances preferred boys. She passed Frannie's down to her son Frank, and then his son Frank, and then his son Frank, and I married his son Frank. That would be Frank IV. And I know what you're thinking, but we share 0.0391% of our DNA or something, and it's not gross, so quit it. Draft. To SabrinaSky@thefoodchannel.com from Amanda.Pogociello@gmail.com. Subject: The Chicken Sisters. Application for Food Wars. Chicken Mimi's fried chicken is pan-fried and people love it. Chicken Frannie's fried chicken is deep-fat fried and people love it, too. I am probably the only person in the world who knows how both are made, but I never make it either. I hate chicken. I mean, I like chickens, but I don't like to eat them. I've been a vegetarian since I was 6. I grew up working the counter for my mother, who ran Mimi's, which was started by my great-great-great-grandmother. Now I hostess for my mother-in-law at Frannie's, which was started by my husband's great-great-grandmother. My dead husband. There should be a word for that, like ex-husband. That would be easier. Draft. To Sabrina Sky at thefoodchannel.com from amanda.pogociello@gmail.com. Subject, The Chicken Sisters. Application for Food Wars. My name is Amanda Pogociello. I am a hostess at Chicken Frannie's just outside Merinac, Kansas. Our rival, Chicken Mimi's, is right on Main Street. The restaurants were started by two sisters who hated each other in the late 1800s. One mostly for people on trains passing through, and the other mostly for the men who worked in the coal mines. For over 100 years, families around here have been choosing one or the other. Loyalty gets passed down in families, even. Only newcomers eat at both, although not very many people actually sit down and eat at Mimi's anymore. They just get their chicken and go home. The sisters' feud lasted until their deaths, and it's still going. Nobody from Frannie's is allowed into Mimi's and vice versa. Chicken Mimi's thinks Chicken Frannie's is pretentious and stuffy because we have a fancy bar and a large menu of more than just fried chicken, and in the 80s we served quiche. Mimi's serves chicken, biscuits, fried potatoes, iceberg lettuce, salad, and pie. That's it. It's not even a real restaurant. It's a chicken shack with tables. At Frannie's, we think that's ridiculous. We think Mimi's needs to grow up and take things seriously and definitely clean itself up. Mimi's thinks Frannie's could just let people seat themselves and relax. Draft. To Sabrina Sky at thefoodchannel.com from amanda.pogociello@gmail.com. Subject, The Chicken Sisters. Application for Food Wars. Please pick us. We're dying out here. Draft. To Sabrina Sky at thefoodchannel.com from amanda.pogociello@gmail.com. Subject, The Chicken Sisters. Application for Food Wars. Chicken Mimi's versus Chicken Frannie's would be the best food wars ever. They're less than 3 miles apart. They both specialize in fried chicken. They were started by sisters who never spoke to each other again. And now they are run by my mother and my mother-in-law. My mother doesn't speak to my mother-in-law either. Sent. To Sabrina Sky at thefoodchannel.com from amanda.pogociello@gmail.com. Subject, The Chicken Sisters. Application for Food Wars. Chicken Mimi's versus Chicken Frannie's would be the best food wars ever. They're less than 3 miles apart. They both specialize in fried chicken. They were started by sisters who never spoke to each other again. And now they are run by my mother and my mother-in-law. They are both super excited to be on Food Wars. We all love the show, and we have seen every episode. I work at Frannie's, but I know everyone at Mimi's, too. People in town always argue about which chicken is best. It's a good way to start a conversation by asking which you like. The restaurants are very different. Mimi's is pretty simple and BYOB, while Frannie's has a bar. Some people go to Mimi's because they really love the pie, but it's better to go to Frannie's if you have someone in your family who is a picky eater or vegetarian, because they will be able to find something that isn't chicken. Chicken Frannie's has mozzarella and cheesecake. We are pretty close to Kansas City, so it isn't too hard to get here. They say people used to come up just to try the different chicken back when this area was booming. Everybody wants to do this, and we really hope you pick us. Reply. To amanda.pogociello@gmail.com from Sabrina Sky at thefoodchannel.com. Subject, The Chicken Sisters. Application for Food Wars. Dear Amanda, The Chicken Sisters sounds intriguing. We are wrapping up Rib Wars in Kansas City and would like to come meet you. If everything's as you say, we'll start filming immediately. How's Wednesday at 2? Sabrina Skelly, host, producer, food.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?